Hi, I'm Edward Sri, and I'm standing here in Nazareth outside the Church of the Annunciation, which is built over the traditional site believed to be where Mary had the angel come to her to announce to her that she was going to become the mother of the Messiah. And we're getting ready to celebrate the great solemnity of Mary's Immaculate Conception this week. And something happened right here that is very important, that gives us a little biblical indication of this. But you know, many people may wonder about the Catholic belief in the Immaculate Conception. Is this just another example of Catholics exaggerating Mary's role in the Christian life? I mean, you know, we have the idea of Jesus was a king, and so they got to make Mary on par with Jesus, and so they give Mary the queenship, and Jesus ascended into heaven after his resurrection, so they've got to do something similar with Mary, so they make Mary assumed into heaven. And are we doing the same thing with the Immaculate Conception? You know, Jesus is without sin, and so Catholics, well, they got to make Mary on par with Jesus, so they make her the Immaculate Conception, conceived without original sin. I understand where some of our Protestant brothers and sisters may be coming from with their concerns about are Catholics exaggerating Mary's role, but I actually think there's a lot of great biblical support for that. And one thing I want to highlight is that everything we as Catholics believe about Mary is actually there to help us to understand and love Jesus more. And that's especially the case with the Immaculate Conception. You see, Jesus is not any ordinary child. He's the Holy Son of God. And so the Immaculate Conception, the idea that God made Mary conceived full of grace without original sin, is there not to focus our attention on Mary. She wouldn't want all the attention. It's there to get us to focus on Jesus more, to understand that this child in her womb isn't an ordinary child, but is the Holy Son of God himself. And how beautiful it is that God would make Mary a holy temple, a holy tabernacle, if you will, spotless and pure, to be the dwelling place for the all-holy Son of God. It's so fitting that he would make Mary in this extraordinary, unique way, full of grace. But is there any biblical support for this idea? There actually is, right here in Luke chapter 1, verse 28, what the angel said to Mary right here in Nazareth. The angel said, "Hail, full of grace." And I want you to know that particular word for full of grace, in Greek, it's kekaritomine. It describes an action that began in the past and continues to have its effects in the present. So it's saying that Mary already had grace before the angel Gabriel ever showed up here. And so Mary was already being formed and fashioned into this holy temple. And that word for grace is used one other time in the New Testament. You're going to hear it on the Mass, in the Mass readings for the solemnity of the Immaculate Conception. In Ephesians chapter 1, verses 6 through 7, this is the kind of grace that brings about forgiveness of sins, redemption, and makes someone a child of God. So that's how this word is used in the Bible. So when the angel comes to Mary and says, "Hail, you who already have been graced," that's literalistically how you might be able to translate that language there. It's describing Mary already having the life of redemption, the life of God within her. She already is a child of God. She already has fullness of grace. So that's what this great feast days is all about. It's there to help us understand God preparing Mary to be that holy temple to house the all-holy Son of God. And it also points to the great hope we can have that we will be transformed by that same grace, that we may become holy like Mary was. Mary, the Immaculate One, pray for us.